here in the perimeter, there are no stars. Out here, we is stoned, immaculate.
Hello and welcome. This is the C86 show. I'm David Eastaugh. As you know, we love a special guest. This week it's the turn of the lead singer with the Mo-dettes. It's the one and only Ramona Carlier, who I spoke to find out more about life, love, poetry and all that other groovy stuff. So this is the interview. So after several minutes of interesting but casual chat, we get down to the exciting subject of the early formative years, after I'd confessed about my love of 70s glam rock with people like Sweet Slay, T-Rex. Luckily, David Bowie was my first singer and first love. So anyway, tell us, Ramona, what was your first love?
Funny because those bands were not big in Europe, but for me it was Roxy Music. I'm still a fan of Roxy Music. And
right, so early Roxy Music.
Lou Reed, the Velvet Underground, all that scene. So that was what I was into before punk.
Yes, yeah. Well, I was very enamoured with the glam rock period. I remember seeing people like Alice Cooper doing Schools Out and
Alice Cooper, yeah.
It was very dramatic. But before that, we used to catch glimpses of the Beatles films on telly occasionally. Yes. And there was the Monkees, which had a massive influence on our musical direction. So did you have, were your parents quite musical then? Did you come from a musical?
Yes, my parents had a restaurant and a cafe restaurant, and they used to play because they used to play the Beatles. And actually my dad liked the Beatles because all the old people didn't like them.
Right.
Well, I thought he was old. He wasn't that old, but and he liked them. And they used to play. And my sister was 10 years older than me, and she bought all these records. And so obviously I listened. I would listen to that, but I was still very little. So yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and then for me was obviously rock and roll, like I said, Roxy Music, the Rolling Stones, I love them. And then the Velvet, Lou Reed, all this scene, I loved. And then punk exploded, and that's all I wanted. The rest, for a sec, everything went, and I was just punk. And that's why I came to London, because Robin, my friend, he said, "Oh, I know those bands, I know the Slits, blah, blah, blah. You've got to come over," and blah, blah, blah. So, like I said, I came over, and I started going while I was studying to learn English, and I started going to lots of gigs. And I met my friend Robin, and I used to go to the Slits gigs and other gigs like that. And that's how I met some of the bands.
Right.
And within 4 months I was here. I met the girls because
that was amazing. Did you so with the education system in Switzerland, case then that you left when you were 16, or did you
No, I left. I was I'm older than you. I'm 68, and I had to, I started learning. We have to learn German because in Switzerland we have to learn German. We can't choose, and you can take another language. And I was doing Latin, and I really actually quite liked it. But I wanted to learn English, obviously, and I had to decide Latin or English. So I started to learn English, and so that's what I did: German and English.
Right, you did those. So how old were you when you came to the UK then, or London?
I was 21.
Right, so you were so had you been to university? Was there some sort of equivalent of university during that?
No, I went to university afterwards. I did my degree a bit late after the band. I went back to studying, so I did my degree because I became a teacher.
Right.
I only retired last year.
Well, I have a good time to retire. Oh, yes, of course, yes. It all makes sense.
Yes, I was teaching sociology, health and social care, French, all sorts of things.
Yes.
So, I retired last year.
Nice. So what was the first single you bought then when you were a young teenager? What was that?
Very young. My first single was Honky Tonk Women.
Right.
Stones, yeah.
And what about David Bowie? Did he come into your
yes, very big, very big. very
And what,
big in England. I saw him when I actually lived in Switzerland. I saw him in Zurich when he was thin White Duke. His
oh, of
period.
course.
Mm.
Yes, I think he had a. Did he sort of live in Switzerland? I think that was
Yes,
the
he lived
80s.
in Berlin, but he lived afterwards when he was better, better, going a bit older.
Yes.
He lived in above Lausanne and Montreux, up the mountains there. Yeah, he did.
Amazing. Yes, Mr. Bowie. So
So did
then,
Keith Richard actually. They lived in Switzerland.
who was Richard?
Keith Richard, sorry.
Oh, Keith Richards. Right,
Yeah,
my
I
God.
saw him once in Geneva walking. So
Yes.
yeah,
So then when you sort of came to the UK, so you were 21 then. So
yeah.
so how did you, oh, it was to learn English at this
Yes, it
stage?
was. It was because my parents wouldn't have been very happy for me. They wanted me to, work and blah 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 and settle down in Geneva. And I do like Switzerland now, but I couldn't live there. It's just too. I don't know, not exciting enough. Especially at that time, I wanted excitement, especially with the punk came out, Sex Pistols. I forgot the first single now, but you know the one.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's all I wanted. I just didn't care about anything. I just left.
Right. So were you living in a commune or squat during that time in the,
Yes. I moved in. First, I lived in some horrible hotels because in Paddington, in those days, Paddington wasn't nice. Trust me. And there was the Barracudas. I was friend with them, and but I was fed up to live in those horrible hotels. I was attacked once, and it was horrible. So. I met Kate by then because I used to hang around Westbourne Grove and all this area, and I had a boyfriend who lived around there. Anyway, so I met Kate, and she had a squat. She lived in a squat in Daventry
right.
Street, and Joe Strummer lived in the middle section, and I
Yes.
lived at the top, and Kate at the bottom. And I don't know if you saw the film Rock and Roll Swindle.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's a time where a scene where Sid Vicious wakes up and there's a jukebox there. He's in a room and he sings "Come On" or something. "Come on, everybody!" And
Yeah.
that's in the squat where we lived.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. My God, that sounds like some sort of kind of
I
it could have
was,
made a nice little sort of theatrical play soap
yeah,
opera,
so
really.
I got involved. We got involved a bit with the Pistols and the Clash. I mean, I sang a New Year's Eve concert with Joe Strummer. He asked me to sing with him, so I did and then as with the 101ers, they had a squat in All Saints Road, and I lived with them for a while. I mean, we used to just move around all the
Well,
time.
absolutely. Did you ever meet Lemmy at this stage from Motorhead?
I did meet him, but not very. Not I didn't know him very well. No.
No, but I just remember he was around that scene.
Yes.
So
I
with
mean,
the Barracudas, was that Jeremy Cluck?
yes. That's right. That's
You
right.
remember Jeremy in that band?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So that
Yeah.
was because they were sort of a surf rock band, weren't they?
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, they were not the punk really, but I think everybody at the time we just thought they were all punk. But really, when you think about it, that they were a bit smooth, more more surf, more melodic.
Yes. Well, it was kind of an interest. I mean, the post-punk period was quite fascinating, really, sort of in the terms of the musical direction that started to happen. And I
Yes,
think also what I've noticed doing this show, because there are so many bands that happened in the 80s, I think it was the sort of the social security system, unemployment benefit was
yes,
quite easy for
that's
people
right.
to
Everybody was
claim.
on it. Yeah.
And life, it was poverty, but it was cheap as well,
That's
wasn't
right.
it?
No, and it was easy to get squats. I mean, I lived in so many squats. In those days, there was an empty building. You just went in, and then it was different then. England was very different, and you could, like you said, you could live very cheaply. You could just
Yes.
food. We just ate in cafes, and it wasn't that expensive to just to live.
I seem to remember lots of tins of tomatoes and TVP. We used to eat a lot of TVP in those, textured vegetable protein. It was the sort of You know, it was just cheap as chips. You know,
Yeah.
it was just the way to survive, really,
Right,
wasn't it?
that's right. I live mostly, with cafes. I remember, on King's Road. That cafe. I forgot the name now, but I remember eating there so often. You know, big meal, and then that would last me for about 2 or 3 days.
Well,
It's just
yes,
thing.
I don't
Yeah.
know, pubs used to always have happy hour, didn't they, around 4
Yes.
o'clock?
Yeah.
So that was
Well,
always
I learned about happy hour when we did our first gig, our first tour in America. And we used to live on that. We used to go like 5 o'clock or something and just get a couple of cocktails and just eat all the Mexican food, all the food. That was,
God, yes, I do. Yes, I remember.
when we went, the first time we went to LA, I remember going into, I forgot the name. I'm not good with a thing. And they sold things like avocado melt, and it was like, oh, avocado, what's that?
God,
Tuna melt,
yes,
things
we did.
that we eat now. But in the early 80s, it was like,
God, that would have been very exotic.
no.
An
And when you
avocado.
ask for orange juice, they actually squeeze the orange, whereas, anyway.
Definitely didn't have that.
No.
Not in our area. I don't think we actually had a landline phone in our house until the late 70s.
Yeah, that's right.
I think, everyone had to go to the call box with lots of
Yeah.
bits and pieces, and
All the school boxes. Oh my God.
the smell
Yes.
of the yellow pages and piss. It was
Yes.
lovely. Yes. So you were definitely on a mission to form a band when you were in the UK.
Well, yes and no. I just wanted to be in the scene, and I was with people who were all in. Everybody just joined the band, And what happened is, Jane, the bass player. I don't know if you know.
Is that Jane Crockford?
Yeah. So Jane, she played with a band of Dresden with a guy called Neil Brown, and she played with them, and they played often in the chip. Is it what's it called? That. So I wrote it down.
Oh, good.
The Chippen. Oh my God, that pub, Chippenham Pub. That's it.
Right.
Pub. And so she was in that band, and so on and off. And then I met Kate and June. And Kate and June were friends before. And they've been working in the Rock and Roll Swindle with somebody, I've wrote it down, with Julian Temple. But they worked with Boogie, this guy called Boogie. I don't know if you know him.
No, I don't know anybody called Boogie.
And they worked there, and Kate was in the Slits at first, and then she left. So nobody. So they wanted to do a new band, and I remember Jane asking me, "Do you want to be a singer in a new band, a girl band?" And I went, "Yeah." Because in those days, even you didn't know if you could sing or not, or whatever. You just joined a band. You had that was the thing to do.
That was a good thing. It's good to say yes.
Everybody joined a band. Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean.
Yes, it was a thing to do. There wasn't
that's right.
And often I think also the other thing was that there wasn't that many options and careers weren't a thing.
No,
so
I didn't think about that at all.
No, it was. So it was like, oh, I've got the time,
That's right.
It was kind of, and also, I mean, politically, things were getting a little bit sort of heavy around when that was the sort of the year when I guess Thatcher suddenly appeared.
That's
after
right. Yeah.
And that changed the sort of cultural or political landscape a lot, really, didn't it?
Yeah, I remember World's End, at the end of King's Road, and the police there, we were all punks there, and they all chased us because we're doing a demonstration, all this, yes. And there was a lot of anti-racist gigs and, and marches and, I remember those times. Yeah, I think we were quite political in those days, which is good because there's and everybody, not just the educated or like this. Everybody was into anti-racism and etc. It was quite a really good period.
Yes, well, absolutely. There was an urgency, wasn't there?
Yes. Whereas when we went to America, especially like places like Texas and all that, and because I still have short hair, and we looked a bit weird. We got in big trouble once. We had to call the police because people were harassing us because we looked so different.
Well, I could imagine you threatened
Yes,
the status quo there,
yes,
didn't you?
yes,
Yes.
exactly. So that wasn't very nice, but anyway.
Oh God, it would have been horrendous,
Yes,
actually. But I know, because it was a very political time. I don't know if
yes.
there was a movement called Reclaim the Streets that a lot of the feminists were doing, but that might have been a bit later on in the
Yeah,
year.
maybe because I don't remember that. Yeah.
Yes, but I think there was, because there'd been the Yorkshire Ripper and various
Oh,
other sort
yes.
of
I
horrible.
remember we played in a university when this was going on, and we had to be. Everybody was talking about. Everybody's scared, and everybody was in groups. All the uni girls, because we played a lot of universities, and they had to be in groups. And oh yeah, I still remember that. It was at the end
Yes.
of it, but it's still there.
It was a very creepy period.
Yes.
So yeah, so with the band, it was a
Yes.
four-piece, but it all sort of came. You had Jane, who was a member of the Bank of Dresden.
Yes,
Ramona.
but she left them, obviously. She wanted to do something different, and a girl band, because it was all about, like you talk about feminism and everything. So it was a lot about this as well. And
Yes.
let's do a girl band, and there we are. We did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where did you start rehearsing? Did you have
We rehearsed at the same place as the Slits used to rehearse, actually, in the basement of Kate Squat in Daventry Street.
Right.
So that was quite good in a way, because it was quite easy. The places I rehearsed, but this place, we didn't care at the time. It was really like a old Victorian basement. So it's like a hole in the ground with electricity going down there. But
yes, well, I think there was every city had a bit of a squat scene, didn't they?
Yes,
really?
yes.
I mean, I think Norwich had Argyle Street, but then I had friends who went to Leeds, and that was a big squat in the area. So I'm sure every city.
Well, we got thrown out eventually. That wasn't very nice. They came in the morning, and we had to leave. We were in a scaffold there, and then they said, "Well, you can pick up your stuff and leave." But that was years later. That's about
yes. So when you started singing, did it feel okay? Did it sort of come naturally?
Now you would think, "Oh, can I sing?" You didn't care in those days. You just went for it. It wasn't about so much, did you have a beautiful voice? It was more about attitude. It's about the way you looked, and these things didn't matter so much. It was so the message you wanted to put across, and the look you had, and obviously if you were complete tone deaf, that wouldn't have worked. But it was very strange. You just went for it.
Can you remember the first couple of numbers that you rehearsed?
Yes, well, we rehearsed. I'm trying to think of
was it Paint It Black?
No, that was later.
Was it? I was just thinking, when you were there rehearsing, I just wanted to say, right.
No, we started, well, it was, Jane brought, White Mice, and, but all of us really collaborated. It wasn't, I'm the songwriter. It wasn't like that at all. We all collaborated and did a few songs, and we did a few covers because we didn't have enough at the beginning. And we did the Beatles. Well, it's not the Beatles, the song Beatles. What's it called? That song. It was always our last song. It's going to come back to me.
It will come back.
I'll send you. I'll type it. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
So Twist and Shout. That's it.
Twist and Shout. Classic.
Yes.
Classic.
So they all invaded all the punk, because we had mostly a boys, young men. Audience, and at the end, they knew, they all invaded the stage, and it was crazy.
Yes, my God, it must have been quite an amazing experience, actually. I mean, we look at it now as if it's normal, but it must have been a shock to the system. I mean, I suppose you did also have, was it X-Ray Specs that had sort of appeared as well as the Slits?
Yes, yeah, she was great there.
And then you would,
I think we were, it's easy to say, but I think we were a good live band.
Yes.
Really good live band. And very quickly we started supporting people we knew. So I'm just trying to think. We supported so many people. I'm just trying to think. At the Chippenham Pub, the Moonlight Club, Acklam Hall,
Right.
and we supported. Let me think. We supported the Clash. We supported. I've wrote it down a little while
good.
ago. We supported Madness. We supported Psychedelic Furs. We supported. I don't know, and very quickly we got a following. So we were actually, it came quite easy at the beginning. So
Yes.
we started this band. We had a few songs, and we, like I said, because we knew people, we supported, and very quickly we started having a following, and we started headlining, and then Rough Trade. We did a single with Rough Trade, Wife Mice.
Yes.
That did really well.
Very well. And then John Peel picked it up in
but that's
December.
how we got our. I think for me that was beginning of the end, but with hindsight. But basically, John Peel played it all the time, and we did a session with
Mr. Peel.
Yes.
At Made-Events. So you
Peel?
got the single played in December 1979, and then you went and did a session
That's right.
in January 1980.
Right. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, some people. John Peel used to play it till not a long time ago. Well, it was before, and then we got signed by Decca, and the first one we did, we did a cover, Painted Black.
Yes,
And
that's such a good version.
yes, I do love the Stones, so. But I think it was a good single. But it was. The mistake we made, I think, is we were quite high it sold really well. I think we were in the top 10, but it was during the strike, and there was no Top of the Pops.
Oh.
And for example, Madness didn't release anything during that time because we were friends, because Jane married the drummer of Madness. So we spent a lot of time with them, and with the Specials, we spent a lot of time with them. And they said we're not we're not releasing a single because there's no Top of Tops, there's nothing. But for some reason, Decca did, and we could have been on Top of the Pops because we were in the top 10, but nothing happened, and that's a shame. That one, I think anyway, that's the way.
Yes,
that's
so. Wait a minute. So you managed to do quite a few sessions for John Peel, didn't you?
Yes. I can't remember all of them, so I'll write that down. Sessions, John Peel, because I'll have to ask.
Yes, yes. I think in fact 3 actually.
Yeah.
Can you remember much about them?
Yes, I remember the first one very well. It was really a bit weird because we used to, be with people like us a bit, a bit crazy and, blah, blah, blah. Even when we did our Rough Trade, the single, White Mice, the sound people were, a bit like us. Well, maybe a bit less, but anyway. And then you get to Radio 2, and there's these, old guys who work for the BBC, and they finish at a certain hour. You start and you finish at a certain hour because
oh yes, the unions, I guess.
The unions, and they were like, I don't know, in the 50s, 60s, and it was really they were very nice. Nothing against them, but it was a different atmosphere.
Yes.
We enjoyed it. We loved it.
And were you rehearsing every day at this point? Were you?
We'd still rehearse, but less because we were playing all the time.
Right.
We were playing nearly every week.
Yes.
We were on like everybody else, on a Ford Transit and on the road. And at the beginning, we had to carry our own instruments before we had.
Yes.
We had roadies. And
did you enjoy the transit van period?
Actually, in a way, we did, because we used to get on well with the girls, and it was a crazy time.
Did you sort of document your tour, your year or two
I
of
sort
tour?
of documented it for a Swiss book actually that came out, but I should maybe write it down one day because there's so many experiences.
Well,
And
I would
I'm
imagine.
actually when, funnily enough, we were playing in the Marquee headline, and June called me and said, Ramona, come and see this big punk who's got a Mo-dettes tattoo. So I went, and then he became a roadie, and then I married him, and we had children.
Blimey.
Yeah, and I still am very close to him. We actually divorced, but we see each other every week,
Oh,
and we
how
don't live far away
romantic.
from each other. So I was on the phone to him, and he's got a very good memory. So if there's anything you want to know, ask me.
Oh, well, there you go. Well,
He's
and
got a very
does
good memory.
does he still have the tattoo?
No, he covered it because we divorced. But anyway, so it's a long story. But he's
That's
got
nice.
he works still in the music business, and he's
Oh,
we I
intriguing.
still see some people. I mean, the other day, I said the other day, it was in September. There was the wedding of some good friends of ours, and there was Glenn Matlock is a good friend of ours.
Yes.
This guy, what's his name? The guy who plays bass in the Clash. What's his name?
Paul Simeon.
Yeah, and we had a long chat, and yeah, it was nice. It was
Oh my
nice.
God, that must have been so
And
enjoyable.
old days, yeah,
God, that was
yeah.
fantastic. So when you just going back to the songwriting, because on your
Yes,
first Peel session you did
yes,
Norman, He's No Rebel,
yeah.
Dark Park, Creeping, and Craig
That was
Twins
it was
and Bitter
gangster.
Truth. Did you, were those songs that you'd sort of all worked together
Yeah.
on, or were they sort of a mix of?
Well, for example, Dark Creeping was Kate's. White Mice was Jane's, and we, but they broke a song, and then I brought a couple of songs, and then we all worked together. But the problem was that we decided at the beginning that we would share all the royalties equally.
That's a good idea.
Yes and no, because Jane wanted the royalties for White Mice because that's the song that really made us, and she wrote it, and there was a bit of problems with that. Anyway, that's
Yes, well, it's yes, the great royalty issue
yeah,
is kind of.
raised his ugly head, and
It,
there
I
was a bit of
know.
problem with that afterwards, not the beginning.
No, well,
Afterwards.
everyone's very trusting in the beginning, aren't they?
Yes,
Which is always so lovely. Innocence.
yes,
It's so good. So during during that period, then you were in the transit van touring, and then
yeah,
sort of doing your Peel sessions. So when did you go to Europe as well as America?
yes,
Then
yes. A lot in Europe. We did quite a few tours there, and we were very popular in Europe.
I
And
would imagine.
yeah, we did really well there, and it was really fun. We met some great people. Um, uh, there's so many anecdotes. I'm going to have to think about some,
Yes, you'll have to
but
write your book actually at this
yeah,
rate, aren't you?
yeah.
This
So
is
many
all.
anecdotes, crazy times, crazy times. There's maybe some, I don't know if I,
And did you and you signed for Decca Records?
yeah.
Was that an unusual label to sign for? Did you
Yeah,
have
I
any?
know what you mean, because it was not the big, but they were owned by a bigger company. So,
I think yes. I
owned
think
by this
eventually.
guy.
And did you have any kind of advice when you came to things like your publishing and
Yeah,
stuff like that?
not enough. Now that I'm older, I don't get, we still sell. For example, they use our record. There was uh, 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 what do you call it? An exhibition not a long time ago for
Right.
women.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
yeah, and White Mice was the song of it. He was played all the time. He was played when you went on the website. He was played and everything. And we don't. Well, I don't get hardly any royalties. So I don't know what's happened. We uh, things started to go not so well after a couple of years, and not too sure exactly what happened. I need to
No.
do a bit more. Yeah.
So how did your 80s go? You started with, the Peel show. You were
Yes.
doing lots of touring.
Yes. And
going
then,
into the
like I said, became quite big. So we did Europe, we did America twice. That was fun. America, oh my God, we played. I wrote down where we played. We played.
Did you play in CBGBs or Max's
Yes,
Kansas?
yeah. I wrote down Peppermint Lounge,
Oh yes.
Whiskey A Go Go. When we met Debbie Harry, we we stayed in the what's the hotel called?
Oh, the one that we can't, Chelsea.
No, not as bad as that. The Iroquois Hotel.
Right.
And it was when you put the light on during the night to go to the toilet, you saw all the cockroaches going vroom, and hiding in little things.
Oh God, the romance of
Yes.
cockroaches.
But remember, at the time, Iggy Pop was staying in the Iroquois, and we spent quite a few nights evening with him, all of us.
Oh yes.
It was good fun. It was good fun.
Did you have a sort of a rock and roll lifestyle at that stage?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, a bit.
I don't blame you. You got to do
Yes.
it. Yes, well, it's all
Well, we all
exciting.
did it, and yeah, no, it was fun. And then we went to LA, and there was the scene. Actually, we stayed at the hotel. Okay, I can't remember. I'll write it down in LA.
Was
that
it the
hotel.
Castle on Sunset Strip or
No,
something?
it's not that one hotel. It was very known, and I can't remember. I will email you.
Yes.
Hotel in LA, and it's like a motel if you want, like a lot of those hotels in LA. And in the middle, you've got a bit of grass and a pool, obviously.
Oh, the swimming pool,
Yeah.
all of 5 meters.
But we were living in England. We were like a pool,
I know.
And at the same time, RAM were there, and they were having a party because I think their first single came out or something like that, and we were invited, So there was good night, and
Yes.
yeah. Oh, I'll email you that.
Well,
Any
yeah.
questions
Well,
you've got, I can
yes.
tell you.
If
Yeah,
only we have.
that was brilliant. That was brilliant.
God, well, it's youth, and it's being up all night
Yes.
without having to worry too much
But
about the consequences.
I think for me, being signed to Decca wasn't I don't think it was a good idea, because I think they wanted us to become more poppy.
I suppose you eventually had bands like the Bangles, didn't you?
Yeah, the Bangles, the Go-Go's, all these bands, and I think what was the second single? No, the third single.
Your third, so you had White Mice, then Paint It Black, and then Dark Park, Creepy.
Yeah, and then we had
Tonight.
Wait, I've got it written down somewhere.
Tonight.
What was it called?
No, not Tonight.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
And that was poppy. And we had they decided to use a producer who was who used to produce what was it called? Sheena Easton.
Oh, Sheena. Yes.
And that's when even our management in America, they were saying, you got to become professional, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to, blah, blah, blah. And I think this is where we lost. That's what I think. Maybe the others would have a different view, but our if you want, soul or something.
Yes.
I just this is when we, like old bands, bickering and blah blah blah.
Because your producer on Tonight was Christopher Neal, who'd done Dollar, Celine Dion, and Sheena Easton, and Paul Nicholas. So quite mainstream at this point.
That's right. And it's.
Was it kind of difficult coming from a squat punk background, and then seeing your pop potential of the band and thinking we need to more?
Right.
Did you have a manager at all, or any?
Yes, we had a manager. Oh my God, what's his name? He died a year ago. And manager's name, I'll send it to you.
Yes.
He was really good friends with Kate and June.
Right.
And things started to break. Jane was married, like I said, to
Oh, was that the guy from Madness? Daniel
yeah.
Woodgate.
And she wasn't. We didn't see her much, and
God, Jane had a busy year then, because 1980 she also marries this guy as well as.
She married in 81, if I'm not wrong. Anyway, it's the same time. So name, I'll send you a name, a drummer, and I didn't enjoy myself anymore. I just anyway, whatever.
Did you? Because I remember seeing a documentary about the band, The Police, and I remember them saying, well, the drummer saying, we could have done with band therapy because, you know, him and Sting never got on.
Yeah, that's right.
And did you feel like band therapy could have been a helping hand?
Yeah, I think so. It's funny because in America we got involved with Miles Copeland.
Miles,
and his brother.
Stuart.
So we were not Stuart.
There was a booking agent. There was a booking agent.
He died, and interesting family. But anyway,
yes.
I didn't know that the father actually, because I watched the program. I love history, and he put together the CIA. I knew he was in the CIA, but I didn't realize that he put it together.
Yeah, and because I did an interview with. I did an interview with Miles when he bought a book out a couple of years ago. So he was a very curious character. Yes. So
he's a very curious character. Yeah.
God, it was great. It was a great rock and roll story because obviously everything.
Oh, he must have the stories.
But also he did that disastrous thing of buying a castle in France when he had lots of money, which obviously is a good way to lose lots of money at the same time.
I'm sure.
But I guess you start to believe your own genius, which is and not the fact that it might have just been anyway.
Yes. And for me, we had an argument, and I said I'm leaving, and that was that. Yeah.
Yes.
So I left. They went on for a little while. So I don't know that side. So you left to,
Yeah. So when did you leave the band?
But 82.
Okay, well, then it's still, because most of the bands I've interviewed from the indie world of the 80s, they normally have something about a 5-year narrative. They get together, 12-month honeymoon period. John Peel play on the single, John Peel session,
and
album.
Then they play us on the radio, and we're all excited, and we tour, and it's amazing. We get on, and then people starts to bring the, sounds like that. What's it called? That thing about rock and roll, but you have boyfriends coming in, and I don't know. It's just, and it all starts to,
Well, I remember when I lived in a shared house. It was the anti-poll tax house in Norwich, and there was 3 of them.
You lived in Norwich. I love Norwich because my son did medical school in Norwich.
Oh, did he?
For 6 years. So I used to go up there. I love Norwich. It's very medieval. Very nice. Anyway.
Oh, it's full of but I do remember there was a house. There was me, Pete, and Martin, and we got on really well. And then we started getting girlfriends.
Yeah.
And that we didn't get on each other. You could have.
It's like that. What's the name of that film with the film when they go the thing on the stage? Okay. I mean, he says. Yeah, my amp goes to 11.
Oh, yes, Spinal Tap. Yes. It's when, Well, I remember Lemmy.
Spinal Tap is so good.
Yeah. Did you ever see the comic strip did one called Bad News?
Yes, of course, Bad News.
And I thought Bad News was kind of more relatable because they had the transit van.
Comic strip. I still me and Ivor, my ex, we still sometimes quote it. I love them.
Well, it was also they did Five Go Mad, didn't they?
Five Go Mad in Dorset, and then Five Go Mad.
I know, but the
says, parachutes are for sissies, and it comes.
Yeah, well, I thought the Bad News ones sort of captured that sort of the really essence of sort of British rock.
And it is like that. And because you spend so much time with each other, it's great at first, and then you get on each other's nerves. And
so you were in the band when the album comes out, The Story So Far.
That's right.
And can you remember how it did? Did it sell well?
Okay, but again, it was produced by this guy who produced. I've got his name. Roger Lomas. Yes.
Right. And you recorded
And
all this. Oh, so you
and
recorded it in Horizon Studios. You recorded this in Horizon Studios in Coventry. Is that right?
that's right, yeah.
So
And that's
was it
the
a residential
good thing
place?
about that is we spent quite a lot of time with the specials, so that was good fun. So that was, but
Yes.
we were friends with them. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
So the album came out, and
yeah,
obviously that was exciting.
yeah,
Toured a bit,
yeah.
and then in the following year, were there any plans to start to record a second album at this stage?
Well, when I was there, I don't know what happened afterwards, but until I left, we were just gigging basically. There was not a lot of. There was a few new songs. We did big festivals and stuff. We enjoyed that. For me, that was the best time being on stage. I
Right.
love being on stage, and that was great. That was still great until the end.
Yes.
But
Did you?
but
What
that's not
festivals
enough.
did you? What festivals did you play? Because was Glastonbury back
No,
on?
no, we didn't play those. But we played. Actually, we played quite a few in Europe. We played one that was incredible. It was next to the wall, because there was still the Berlin Wall in
Oh
Berlin,
yes, until for another 10
and the
years.
wall was not far. And there were those on the East Germany side. There was those tall tower thing, and with Russian with their guns,
Well,
but they were
yes.
listening to the music. That I'll never forget when we went through East Germany.
Oh,
You go through when you
Checkpoint
leave West
Charlie.
Germany to go through to Berlin. It's the Russian army that interrogate you. I'm still like it was yesterday. It was quite scary.
Oh God, I can remember
Very
because
cool.
we went to West Berlin in '87, which
Hmm.
was nice, and then they said, oh, let's go to East Berlin, and I was thinking actually. We had to get back before, I don't know, 11 o'clock. And I remember thinking, I just would like to get back sooner than later here
Yes,
because I'm feeling like we could just
yes,
disappear here. And
yes, yes,
and
yes,
what happens? Because suddenly
yes.
it felt like you were playing with a different,
Totally. And actually, funny enough, or not so funny, Putin was the head of the what they called the
Stasi.
yeah, the Stasi. And
Yes.
he was there when we were there in the 80s.
I
Anyway,
could, yes, he must have
yes,
been.
no, exactly. He was very strange, very strange.
Yes, it was very. Did you
Yeah,
play any other gigs in Berlin at that stage in the early '80s when you were still a
I'm
band?
left to ask, and I'll let you know. Berlin.
Yes, you'll have to let me know. But
Yeah,
because again, there was because obviously, and you would know this because of being in Switzerland. But
yeah.
yes, the reason there was such a funky scene was that you had to do national service as
Mm.
a German.
Yeah, it's like
But
in
if you
Switzerland.
went to Berlin, you didn't have to do your national
Yeah,
service. So any radical
yeah,
lefty would have
that's
gone
right. That's right.
Berlin.
That's right. That's right. No, no,
we
crossing, and it's a long time ago, the 80s, obviously, early 80s, crossing East Germany. It's like it was yesterday. I remember everything. It
yes,
was like a different world.
absolutely.
It
It was.
was. I felt really sorry for these people. Anyway,
Yeah, I wished he would
yeah,
stop doing that.
yes,
So that's my phone. So look, when you left the band, can you
yes.
remember? Can you remember the moment when you did it? Did you phone them or did you?
Oh, I remember like it was yesterday. Basically, I don't want to say horrible things, but basically, what they did is we before there was a tour near the end. There was a tour where June left a paint thingy on a foot, and she broke a toe. Anyway, so we cancelled the tour, and then you know, and then I was in Switzerland just because my father wasn't well. I was there only for about a week and a half or something like
Yeah,
that. And I rang them. I said, "What's happening when we get back?" And they said, "Oh, we did a gig yesterday without me." And June sang it, and I didn't know, and it really upset me.
that's heartbreaking.
And I said, "I'm out." But things were not very good, obviously.
No, they weren't. But
We didn't. We there was, there was not. I wouldn't put the blame on anyone,
No,
but
but I mean,
it was just, I think we reached the end basically. But personally, that's what I think. You know.
yes.
And I said, that's it. That's I'm leaving, and that was that, and it just finished like that.
Yeah, well, quite. Have you ever spoke to any of the band
Well,
since?
funnily enough, um, oh, I forgot his name. You know, our manager, unfortunately, died. Was it a year ago, 2 years ago?
Oh, okay.
Not last summer, the last summer before. And we all met at Ivor's, because he does a lot of festivals and things like that. Anyway, and we met somewhere where he's got all his stuff in near the Tower of London. Anyway, and we all met except Kate, because she lives in LA, obviously. But we met, and it was lovely, actually.
Oh
It was
my
lovely.
God! So that was the first time
It
you
was
met for 40 years.
first time I met June. I know her. I met her a few times because I've got a very good friend, Kathy, and she's her sister-in-law. Anyway, but Jane, I haven't met her since then, and it was like we met yesterday. It was like there's no difference. It
Well,
was
yes.
nice. It was nice.
Well,
We
it's
all, you know, we all went into each other's arms and all that, because we lived through crazy times, and we had a lot of good times,
yes,
and
I
we
know.
forgot everything, and it was good.
It's good to let that go. But
Yes,
yes, oh, I'm so pleased. I like a
yes.
happy. I
No,
like a
no,
happy
it was
story.
very happy ending. And June now lives in Brighton, and she say, "Oh, come over," blah blah blah, you know. And it was, you know, it was lovely, lovely.
Nice. Did you
Yes.
read the woman who was in the Dolly Mixture? She's brought a book out recently about her.
Oh, Dolly Mixture. I
Remember?
remember them. I remember them very well.
Well, she brought a book out very recently, last year,
Do you know the
basically.
name or?
Oh, I will email you the name of
Yes,
the
email
Dolly
me the name,
Mixture
please.
because again, I think she found her diaries and she'd written a lot
Ah,
about it, but then she also has written it and added some bits, not to spoil it, but to make
no,
sure
no,
that
no. Yeah.
just certain things. But yeah, it's been. Oh, it's Debsy. She was the one who wrote it. But
Okay.
I'll send you a link because
Yeah, I like that.
it was it's a story of the post-punk group like yourself, and again, three young
Yes.
women from Cambridge, actually, wasn't it?
Yes. No,
And
because I think after the punk, there was a time where what's happening now? You know, and then it went to the bands like I don't know, Visage and
well, there was the new romantic
that's
bands,
right.
wasn't there? So there
After,
was,
yeah, it sort of started, but that wasn't really our scene. Was not about dressing. It was very much more feminist. You know, we didn't wear heels on stage. We just, we wanted to be, you know, we put some makeup, but not too much. You know, we tried to look, you know, as normal women, and that wasn't really my scene, all this dressing up thing. But anyway, but
yeah,
yeah, there was a time for me. There was a time when I was like, I want to do something else. You know, it was the end of punk, and there's a little bit of sadness, a little bit of and then
yes.
you rebound and you do other things. But
Yeah. Well, I realise that with doing this again, that a lot of people are in a kind of a moment, a kind of a zeitgeist in their
mm,
musical moment. And
mm,
then there's another wave of
yeah,
16, 18-year-old kids come along and they want to discover
that's right. Of
the new
course, there's
band.
always something
So
new.
so after you came along, obviously there was the new romantic scene, then there was bands like
Yeah,
Sade, and then you had the Smiths and you had that
yes, of
indie
course,
scene.
of
And then
course.
at the end you had, the rave culture and
Yeah.
shoegazing and grunge.
But there was
So
as well, because my husband at the time, he started working with the Lords of the New Church, and that's when I met Brian. You know, because I'm on his album,
Brian.
Brian James.
Yes, Brian
Of
the Damned.
the Damned. Yeah. So I saw the Damned. You know, when he was playing the last tour they did with him, I was there obviously because we're good friends, and. Brian did the album is coming out next week, and he did an album, his last album, and asked me to sing. So there you are.
Oh, well, that's interesting because someone's just sent me someone's doing the press for that, and they just sent me the Brian James
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
What's it called? I've got it here actually.
I still haven't got it. Mina, his wife, I'm gonna. We're supposed to meet, but we will meet. I'm gonna go to see her
Well,
in Brighton.
yes.
Yeah, because she lives.
So which? Because I've got the track list in here. Which
Yeah,
songs are you singing on?
it's oh God, I should know. It's one of the Laws of the New Church track, "Dance with Me."
Dance with You. Oh, yes, I see. I can see. Yes, you're credited on the press release as.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he's
yeah.
got a few. Oh, I'll have to listen to that actually.
Oh, yeah. I don't
And
know.
he.
I'm not sure if it's. I'm a bit. I enjoy doing it. Brian loved my voice and he wanted it, and it's a bit hard, to suddenly go back to it. But anyway, I hope people will like it. But
Well, absolutely. Oh God, that's very exciting. Actually, yes, it
yeah,
comes out on the 20th of February. The
yeah,
final
and
album.
yeah. So I stayed a lot in the scene, if you want, because we have a lot of friends in this, in
Yes.
rock and
So
roll.
that.
So yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. So then in sort of 82, 83, is this when you went back to university then and sort
No,
of.
I went a bit later. I got married in '83, and we had quite quickly 2 children, so that occupied me. And
Yes.
then I went to university, did my degree, and then I did my PGCE, and I became teacher. Yeah, so I like that side. I do like teaching, and I'm quite an intellectual on the side, and yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
So were you teaching, was it A levels or.
Yeah, mostly A levels. I did a bit of year 10, 11, but at the end, I only taught A levels, which I
Right.
prefer because it's a bit higher
Yeah,
concepts.
well, yes.
Yeah.
What was, you might have mentioned the subject and I missed it. What was your subject again?
Um, um, Sociology
Yeah.
and health and social care.
Blimey, that's fantastic. And
Yeah,
then,
it's very interesting with all the psychologists and blah blah blah, and sociology is my thing. Obviously, I love you know I love all the Marxism and all this kind of stuff. What they it's my thing. I love it.
yes, and then
I
2 years
read it
ago,
all the time. That's why I read. That's why I'm interested in
well,
um,
quite.
history and yeah.
Yes, I remember. Rosie the Riveter, I think that was one of the, I don't know, I think that was a sociology course that I did where they were talking about women during the Second World War, sort
Yeah.
of doing all the industry, but then when the men came back, it was like,
That was First World War, but yeah, First World
yeah,
War because all the men went and they went into. It's the first time that they actually worked, And it's funny, yeah. And when the men came back, they just expected, expected the women to go, and they had to. They lost their jobs, and
yes,
but it never went back to Victorian times. Never. That was the first time that they thought, well, we could do the same job,
well,
and
quite,
obviously Second World War as well. The women had to do work, but that was more acceptable by then. People starting to change about how they saw women. Whereas during the First World War, it was like they just couldn't believe that women could do men's job.
well,
Yeah, very
quite.
interesting.
Well,
Yeah,
it's also interesting because I'm sort of slightly interested in sort of keeping fit and well, and sort of that thing that women weren't allowed to run a marathon because they didn't think
that's right.
they couldn't do it in the late 60s, and
Yeah.
what a
Not a long
woman
time
sort of
ago.
entered and
This woman went on it and did it, and then they used to push her and
yes, there's
didn't
a
let her.
famous
Yeah, in
picture.
America.
They were
Yeah,
furious, and now
right.
it's like,
That's right.
yeah, so it's God, there's been so much to
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
It's been.
Obviously, I taught feminism, and all. It's yeah. This is my thing. I love it. I love it.
Well, yeah, it's well, it's sort of growing up during the 80s. I mean, it was very,
Yes, yes.
it was a very
Right.
political time because we then
That's right.
had sort of, you had
Very much so.
Red Wedge, and then you had, as I said, the feminist movement and
Yes.
those kind of
And you see, in
re-
those days, young people, like you said earlier on, young people actually talked about it and were into it. Whereas now, when you talk to people about politics, they're, oh, it's not going to change anything anyway, and they don't seem to care. And I'm like, what? You have to.
You have to, yeah, please, please
Especially with
vote.
voting. When people don't vote, it drives me mad. Anyway.
Oh God, I know. I mean,
Yeah.
the privilege of voting is.
I know. My dad said to me, used to say to me, people died for to be able to vote, and you must vote because of that. Yeah.
It's a crime, really. So then,
Yeah.
so you
Anyway,
obviously you got your career and did
yes.
that, but then was the project that you had with Brian James, was that the only musical? Was that the kind of only musical moment you had in the last, since the band?
Yeah, I'm trying to think actually. I did a couple of other things. I'm going to have a think about.
Yes.
What other
well,
things?
I mean, to be honest, having a career it's.
But I don't know. I saw a little bit of the music business. Not the punk time. Not that all that was great, but when we got involved with those people in America and all that, and I didn't like it, and I was not interested in that, and it's a horrible business.
Yes,
I'm talking about the big business. I'm not talking about a scene, and I just wanted nothing to do with it for a little while.
Yeah. You might have seen or not really, but I mean, in the last 5 years, there's been so many people writing their memoirs and books, and there's films coming out and exhibitions. I think it's good because a lot of the bands, were just like ignored for various reasons because of the mainstream, and it was so popular.
Right.
So history is told by a select group of people, but then over the time, there's been other people's history being told as well. And I think you suddenly go, oh, that's good, because the 80s used to be told by people, and it was like, oh, it was New Romantics, it was Live Aid, it was Spandau Ballet.
That's right.
And
That's
I remember
what they talk about in the 80s. Well, no, there's other things.
There's other things. And I thought, God, that's not my... And I didn't go to...
I know. Exactly. It's not my 80s at all. It was a lot of alternative stuff at that time.
Yeah, the alternative world was, and it was also very tribal. I don't know if you remember that tribal. You had goths, you had psychobilly, anarcho punks, you had indie kids, you had singer songwriters. It was kind of an interesting thing. And in the
indie scene, definitely,
the indie scene, we love that indie scene. So yes, well, that's good. So hopefully, have you managed? I mean, with the band and stuff, has somebody or a few of you got much of an archive of like photos and material?
I do. I've got a lot. I'm sure they must have as well. Yeah, I do have quite a lot. I've got even posters, like posters of the times. I've got a lot of photos. No, I do.
Oh, wow. Well, hopefully you might sort of look at archiving it.
Yeah. No, I did write up a few things. It could be interesting. No, I do have quite a lot of things.
Oh, good.
Surprisingly enough, yeah. And interesting stuff. And sometimes there's still people who send me things, and people I see when I go to gigs and all that, they come to me and they say, oh, I saw you, and it's nice.
Well, it's very good. Yeah, well,
maybe I should write it up.
I think there
was a few interesting times.
Well, yes, I think the story. I mean, in a way, it's the which has been good. The people like yourself have that opportunity to write their history. Then it's kind of another story, isn't it?
Who was in the Velvet? Obviously not Lou Reed. The other one, John
Kell.
That's right. We did actually. We did it quite well, I think. We did, I don't know which track John Kell.
Oh, Fighter Pilot.
Yes. Was it Fighter? Yes. And we did the was it Fighter Pilot? No. Okay.
Were you billed as the Bombernettes?
We yes, Bombernet. We did the backing vocals, and I think they came out really nicely.
Nice.
I think the song you sang... Oh, isn't it the Doors at the back? There's one of John Kell, and there's the anyway, and that was something. I mean, there was porn everywhere. We were a bit shocked, I must admit.
Well,
And
quite.
cocaine and porn everywhere. That's all I remember from these sessions. Oh, my life.
So that was a session recorded in New York then,
Yeah.
with Mike Thorne as your producer.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the album came out. It's yeah.
I like I like the song. I like the song. I'll have to come back. I'll email you things I forget. I'm not very good with memories. I don't know
Well,
why. There's a lot of things that just blocked. I don't know why. I
it's
do
easy.
that when things don't go well. I block things.
I think
But
that's quite a good idea. And the album cover was done by Andy Warhol. So
yeah,
there you
exactly.
go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to go and listen to that. But look,
Yes.
yes. Well, thank you for your time, by the way.
No,
I really appreciate it. And yes, I'll send you that link to Debsy's book as well
Yes, I
that
like
she
that.
wrote. And yes, because
Yes.
it got really good reviews, and it's a lovely little kind of memoir of her time in the
Yes.
Dolly Mixture.
Yes.
And and I guess
remember
you've
them,
seen,
actually. I
and I
remember
guess you saw the film of the slits and the X-ray specs, and
I saw the thing about with
polystyrene.
no, actually I saw that as well, but I saw the one with the one who died, Harry.
Oh, hurry up!
Cross that.
Yes, God, that must have been. Oh, and I guess you would have got the other book by the guitarist of the band.
Yes, I've got the book upstairs.
Albertine.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you read it?
No, not yet, because I there's a feeling that it's a bit too close to the bone, but I don't know. I'll have to see. I should read it, but I know there's a lot of ups and downs, and I'm thinking,
Yes, and Laura Logic, who was the in X-Ray Specs, she's still doing some music and
all right.
And bits and pieces. Yeah.
There's another one who's still doing music that they used to play in a Chippenham with us. What's the name of that band? Okay.
Ooh, do tell us.
A girl, Chippenham girl band. Yes, and actually, I did speak to her. What's the band? Right.
Do tell us. Yeah, tell us who that is.
Yeah, I will send you all these things. I wrote it down.
Good.
I'll send you all this because I'm not very good with yeah.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, good.
It's nice because sometimes I don't think would that interest anyone, but I suppose it must interest people who maybe live through it or
yes, people.
I don't know.
People love the story. Well, hopefully your John Peel sessions will get released one day.
Yes,
that's always a nice project. A few people have been, I saw the band Exmar Deutschland have just had their John Peel sessions released or about to.
They showed on television. They gone back to do some playing in the exact same that little like a hot little house thing that we went to, and it's all done up now. And they was on TV, and I went, oh, they're talking about the Radio 2 John Peel sessions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, yes, anyway. There's somebody who's putting out quite a few of them. So hopefully you'll get some keen person who'll release them, which is always good. But look, well, thank you for your time. This has been amazing. And I'll send you the link to that book. Okay, have a lovely evening and take care.
Thank you, David. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And that was me in conversation with Ramona Carlier, talking about her life in music. This has been the C86 show, David Eastaugh. If you want to contact me, you can on any of the social media platform sites. Just do C86 show. All these interviews have been archived on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean. It's true. Have a great week. Stay safe.